Brandon, police department. Brandon. Brandon. Wake up, Brandon. It's the police department. Brandon, can you hear me? Brandon. Wake up. Police department, Brandon. Wake up. Brandon. Wake up, Brandon.
Hey, Brandon? Brandon? This is Logan Police Department. You gotta wake up. Hey, Brandon?
What evidence do you have that a suspect is impaired? Select all that apply. Body is flush. Loss of bodily function. Can't wake up. Alcohol in the room.
Okay, so I am gonna go look at the results on this one because this one's a great example of if you're writing a report afterwards and you say like, why do you think this person was impaired, right? And you notice these three things: the body's flush, right? He's not waking up, like he can't move, right? You roll him over and all that, and he's not. He can't wake up. It's a connection to the bodily function part. So most of the class, we see that. Part of the class though too they saw some alcohol in the room, right? But that's actually nowhere in view at that particular moment. Now these are all correlated things, right? Alcohol clearly is the driver for why this guy is passed out on the bed there and can't wake up. But you don't actually necessarily see it in that particular view. One thing you do see in the corner is the bashed in piece of the wall, but you don't see that correlated piece of alcohol being in the room. So that's a very important item for report writing sometimes. What evidence did you have that this person was impaired? And then you fill in, which is a very natural thing to do, but it wasn't actually in view at that particular moment.
Cash 047. He's on a 1052. The one adult male intoxicated and unable to arouse him.
At this point, what options are available to you? Select all that apply. Call ambulance. Notify superior. Use taser to wake suspect.
All right, who went with the taser? I want to know who went with the taser. All right, that's good. That's good. Nobody went with the large option. So yeah, I mean, call ambulance. Clearly, I mean, you guys are working at a hospital on campus there too. But notifying superior also a pretty good option. So definitely, we don't taser the suspect at this point.
Brandon, wake up. Wake up, Brandon. Brandon, wake up. Police department, wake up. Brandon.
Hey.
Can you respond to me? I need to know if you're okay. Police department. Are you okay? We haven't been able to wake you up.
Don't rub my fucking chest again.
Okay, well, we were trying to wake you up for about 5 minutes here.
When the suspect awakes, are you comfortable being the officer in the corner of the room? Yes. No.
All right, I was pretty quick on that. In this case, maybe you don't want to be stuck in the corner. I don't know. It's kind of up for debate in the department, but most of the class was on the no side.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
What the hell?
Cash 247, you can cancel the 1052. Hey, Brandon, just stay seated, okay? Stay seated.
Do not.
Brandon, I need you to
Do
stay
not
seated.
fucking touch
Brandon,
me.
stay seated. We're gonna have a problem.
Tap on the screen when and where the suspect is escalating or de-escalating the situation.
Okay, again, you do this on the phone. Click there and the video will start playing.
If you want a problem, you're gonna
Brandon, sit
fuck a
down.
problem.
Brandon, sit down. Okay.
Do not.
I won't
I
touch you
do
if you
not
sit
have a
down.
problem.
Brandon, I
Okay.
won't touch you if you sit down.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't.
Sit down.
Don't.
Brandon. Just
No,
sit down for me.
no.
Okay.
You say it.
We got
I'm having a problem.
No,
I'm
I say,
fine.
Brandon, we're not
I'm
gonna have a
fine.
problem.
You're in my
I
fucking
understand
house.
that. Sit
Okay.
down so we can talk.
No.
Okay. Yes.
No.
Brandon.
No.
don't
Don't
wanna
tell
fight
me.
with you,
Don't
okay?
tell me. I have a problem.
Okay. Just
Don't do it.
take it down a little bit, okay? I don't want to have to fight you. Let's sit down. Let's take a deep breath, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Calm the fuck
I'm
down.
calm. I'm calm.
Okay.
I'm way calm. Just sit down.
Don't come at me.
Okay. I'm not gonna touch you if we can just relax and talk, okay?
Okay. You're coming at me, telling me.
I understand that. I understand we're in your house.
My house.
I understand we're in your house, right?
Yeah.
We
And
just
I
need
haven't
to-
talked to you. I haven't.
Brandon, we just need to
Yes,
chat,
you-
okay? Just take it down a notch, okay?
Okay.
I was concerned we couldn't wake you up. We were trying to wake you up for a minute. Okay, so
Okay.
that's why I rubbed your chest. All right.
That's no sort of fault.
That's all. No, I understand that. But look, Brandon, we can start over here, okay? This doesn't have to be, all high tensions, okay? We can just start over, all right? So my name's Officer Wade.
At my house.
Okay.
All of you.
Brandon, we gotta talk. okay?
You and you get the fuck out of my house.
Brandon, sit back down, okay?
Get out of my house.
Sit down. Okay, I don't want to have a problem. Sit down.
Okay. Neither do I.
I don't
I
want to sit
don't want
down.
to have a problem. I don't. But get the.
Okay.
Why are we talking?
Let's take a look. I'm sure. I think everybody's gone through the video, so let's see what we got here. All right. Well, clearly that's the first spot.
Brandon,
If you want
You got to like kind of. He's coming at you, right?
a problem, you're
Brandon,
gonna
sit
fuck a
down.
problem.
Brandon,
He's coming at you again,
sit down.
raising his hand now.
Okay.
Do not.
I won't touch you.
Escalation.
Sit
Have a
down.
problem.
Yeah. So I mean, we're it's like a pinball machine, right? We're lighting up all over the place here.
Brandon, I won't touch you if you sit down.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't.
Sit down.
Don't.
Brandon. Just
No,
sit down for me,
no.
okay?
You say it.
Okay, what he's saying, right? Probably important. He's moved a little bit closer, right? All signs of escalation, right?
We gotta
I'm having a
talk.
problem.
No, I
I'm
said,
fine.
Brandon, we're not
I'm
gonna have a
fine.
problem.
You're in my spot.
Okay, raising the arm. So I'll just keep letting it play, and then I'll.
I
Fucking
understand
house.
that. Sit
Okay.
down so we can talk. Okay? Yes.
No.
Brandon.
No.
The hands, big.
don't
Don't
wanna
tell
fight
me.
with you,
Don't
okay?
tell me. I have a problem.
Okay. Just
Don't do it.
take it down a little bit, okay? I don't want to have to fight you. Just sit down.
Okay.
Let's take a deep breath, okay? All
Okay,
right?
calm the fuck
I'm
down.
calm. I'm calm.
Okay.
I'm way calm. Just sit down.
Don't come at me.
Okay, I'm not gonna touch you if we can just
All right, so that's kind of important. He's sitting down now, right? So it's for tap for escalation or de-escalation, right? We're not really differentiating in this particular one. When he's sitting down, more escalating or de-escalating? What would you say? Show of hands for escalating? Show of hands for de-escalating? Yeah.
just relax and talk, okay?
Good. You're coming at me, telling me.
I understand that. I understand we're in your house.
My house.
I understand we're in your house, right?
Yeah.
We
And
just
I
need
haven't
to-
talked to you. I haven't.
Brandon, we just need to
Yes,
chat,
you-
okay? Just take it down a notch, okay?
Okay.
I was concerned we couldn't wake you up. We were trying to wake you up for a minute. Okay, so
Okay.
that's why I rubbed your chest. All right?
That's no sort of fault.
That's all. No, I understand that. But look, Brandon, we can start over here, okay? This doesn't have to be, all high tensions, okay? We can just start over, all right? My name's
Get the
Officer
fuck
Wade.
out of my house.
Okay.
All of you.
Brandon, we gotta talk. okay?
You and you get the fuck out of my house.
Brandon, sit back down, okay?
Get out of my house.
Standing
down.
up,
Okay, I don't want to have a problem. Sit
escalation.
down.
Okay. Neither do I.
I know.
I
so sit
don't want
down.
to have a problem. I don't. But get the fuck out of.
Okay, so seems like most of the class was, picking up on all the signs. He's rubbing his hands, get the fuck out, all this other kind of stuff, right? Sitting down, de-escalate, standing up, escalate, continuing to rub the hands like he wants to fight. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward through some of that here.
If you want a problem, get out of
Brandon,
my house.
sit down. Brandon,
Anything. I haven't touched any
let,
of you. I
let
haven't
me
touched
let
any-
me tell you why we're here, okay?
Okay.
We got to report that there was a fight between you and your spouse tonight. Can you tell me anything about that?
There was an argument.
Okay, tell me about
There
it.
wasn't there was no touching. There was nothing.
Okay,
I haven't hit her.
okay,
There was no argument. There was no fighting. There was nothing. We got in arguments because she cheating on me. I was dick cheating on her back. We had a fight.
okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that. And I understand it's not.
Do you believe him that there was no physical altercation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, that's 7 people. I know somebody just walked out. If anybody's new in the class, I can't see off screen there, but you can just scan the QR code when I get rid of this menu to join. Okay, so at this point, most of the class is like, this guy's full of beans, right? 43% on 1 and 2 each, right? So the bulk of the class over there. Most likely believe him. Well, you have a lot of faith in people, or maybe, possibly misunderstood the question, but most of the class leans toward this guy's full of beans, right? Might have seen that dent in the wall. She said she got thrown into a wall. So, that's kind of where it looks like the class is right now.
What evidence do you have to back up your belief? Select all that apply. Physical marks on the wife. Physical marks on the wall. Her statement on video. His statement on video.
Okay, this is a report writing question. You're called to testify. What did you see, right? Okay, in this case, there's, all 4, all the above, right? I mean, obviously, he's telling you what happened, but, his statement is not really factual, right? So that's kind of important. Less important, it seems like, for, everyone in the class right now. But everybody's like, for sure, physical marks on the wife. Everybody saw that, right? The physical marks on the wall, it's funny. I mean, I've actually talked about it a couple times. But still about 70% of the class is seeing it. That means a few people, 1 or 2 is not. So it's something, worth noting. And then her statement on video, obviously that's pretty salient. So that's kind of, number 2 kind of bit of evidence. So just a good way of giving yourself a check in terms of like, what did I see right there? And what am I registering right now? Potentially before you go back and review the body cam footage later.
Please wake up in the middle of the night, get in your business, right? But where we had a report of a fight, we got to investigate, okay? Make sure everybody's okay. Are you hurt at all?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
What would you like to ask him next? Do you have any injuries? Would you like to speak to your wife? Do you need a drink?
All right, so that's everybody. I mean, clearly we asked him if he's hurt already, right? But, are there any like serious injuries, right? Because you want to know if you want to call an ambulance. And one of us believe, I'm doing the class too, right? One of us believed we should join him for a drink at that moment. That was me. Stupid answer.
Didn't get hurt in this argument, nothing.
No, we had an argument.
What's that?
We had an argument. That's it.
Okay.
We were upset at each other.
Okay. Did it get physical at all tonight?
No.
No?
Oh,
Okay.
we didn't get physical at all.
Okay. So no fighting, just verbal.
No, it was on verbal. We were just verbally angry at each other.
Okay, that's fine.
She was angry about what I done. I was angry at what she did.
Okay. Look, I get it, man. I'm married. I understand having issues with your spouse, right? Now, I want to ask you some questions here, Brandon, pretty specific questions. I want you to understand you're not under arrest right now, okay? But I'm going to let you know, just so that we're on the same page, you don't have to answer any of these questions, okay?
I'm not going to answer any questions. You guys fucked my life up enough
Okay.
last time, so get the fuck out of my house.
Brandon. Brandon.
You both.
Okay.
White.
Easy, Brandon.
Do you have probable cause to arrest him at this point? Yes. No.
Okay. Everybody answered by about 5 seconds on that. Let's see what we got. Okay. Leaning towards yes. Right. Both statements and physical evidence, probable cause for a crime being committed.
Get the fuck
Okay, why
out
don't
of
you
my
turn
house.
around? Turn around.
No, I am done. You guys fuck
Relax.
my shit. I'm not. Hey, I'm not.
Don't resist. Don't resist. All right.
I am not.
Okay. You're all right. You're all right.
No,
Okay. I got his other.
no, I'm not. I am not.
Panic. Get your arm out.
You know, I told you your name. I put out your names. I am not fucking fighting.
All right. All right. We're just put cuffs on. You're all right.
I am not.
Okay. We're good now. You're good, man.
I am not. Jesus. Yeah, you bashed my head. You
Stand up.
fucking table.
Do you need an ambulance?
Probably. I did not. Jesus.
Check that. I heard you. Just check.
Damn.
Do you need an ambulance, Brandon?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can feel my. No,
Cash there.
don't. I don't need a fucking ambulance.
1022.
I don't need ambulance.
Okay. So let's walk outside.
I just put in your names. I'm sorry, my car.
Okay.
Like, like, yeah, seriously. I just pointing at your names.
What other evidence would you like to collect for your investigation? Select all that apply. Take photographs of injuries and of the room. Collect the women's clothing as evidence. Collect the bedding as evidence. Collect the liquor bottle that was drank earlier in the night as evidence.
All right, so that's almost everybody in the class. There's, this is kind of like when the credits roll at the end of the movie kind of deal, but the movie's not over, right? You gotta collect some evidence. And, photographs of the injuries of the room, 100%, everyone's on that. Clothing, potential evidence though, right? So about half the class wasn't necessarily tuned into that. Bedding, nobody really cares if he got his sheets from Walmart or Ralph Lauren, right? Nothing really pertinent to the reason they were called, and we don't really need to know if it was Jack Daniels or Sky Vodka or whatever. But this is all how to piece together now for the case that will then move over to prosecution afterwards. So that's the end of the ball game, right? Nothing crazy happens, no crazy shootout, and that's actually I think an important thing to highlight with. I'm going to turn off the share for a second. An important thing to highlight with E-Train. It's not all the shooting gallery, right? Like a lot of training. I see it when I go to conferences, for law enforcement. I was just at ILETA, the Law Enforcement Trainers, Association meeting in St. Louis. And I've been to others before, particularly in New York State, their version of it. And there's a lot of stuff that's shooting related, use of force related, target practice, right? But we all know that that's obviously the highest highest octane kind of piece of policing, but that's not the highest percentage of the kind of decisions that you encounter on a regular basis. And so what we're doing is trying to focus on, yes, use of force is important, right? But not, most of the scenarios you're called for or you encounter don't include that component. And there are a lot of things that, even could lead up to that, but don't necessarily get there. And that domestic is a good example of one that, okay, there's a little scuffle to put the cuffs on him. But for the most part, it's, there's no weapon involved, nothing like that. Nothing like the bus depot situation that we looked at before. So at this point, I wanted to switch gears to talking about kind of how E-Train we would take as you're working with the product, it's going to start adapting to you, and that's something that David Conkle saw. Besher, I'm sure did too while he was in SPD, but he may not actually seen the progress like we'll show today with Officer Conkle. So we'll pivot over to doing that next. Any questions about how the platform works? Any particulars about the data, how it works, anything like that you'd like to talk about. You want to hear about any baseball players we work with who are going to hit well this year? Glad to talk about that too.
Am I the only baseball fan? Or?
Can you hear us?
Nothing? Yes.
Okay. Anybody want to know why the White Sox are terrible this year? It's because they used to work with us and they don't anymore. Okay, that's the end.